Look, this video is for those of you who come to the channel and ask me about TV settings, specifically LG OLEDs. They all have about the same menus and options, so I can definitely give you some good recommendations, okay? Now I'm gonna tell you the God honest truth here. The problem I see with all the people requesting me, settings or, tell me what's the best for this or that, or what can I do to get a more colorful picture or get, more brightness. The truth is, this LG C1, CX, C2, C3, even the G2, G3, they are not bright enough, okay? It's just the God honest truth. These TVs are not bright enough, especially full screen. So now, some people don't have the ability, the opportunity, or they just don't understand they have to be in a completely dark room, okay? So then you're frustrated with it. There's no way around it. There's no settings you can use to overcome that. The TVs are just not bright enough. And you need to be in a dark room anyway to get the best picture quality. But forget about controlling the lighting. You need to turn those lights off. That's the only way you can at least see what's going on. And then the other problem is the color saturation. It's kind of garbage. Honestly, for WRGB OLEDs, the color saturation is very poor. I've compared this with my plasma TVs, and the color saturation of the plasma TVs is better. Okay, it seems like this W of the WRGB just washes out the colors, and most people can't see that. It's very, very, very easy to notice. So now you need more brightness. You're trying to push that brightness with dynamic tone mapping or whatever. Whichever you're doing to try to push that brightness, and now the colors look washed out. It's a mess. Okay, so there's nothing you can do to overcome that. Turn off the lights and try to enjoy what this TV can do very well, which is basically give you perfect blacks. Okay, give you that great contrast, and then just try to get the picture you like, basically. So I have shared with you, all the settings, all the options, and what each one of them do, so you can take advantage of that. Because I truly believe that the options, the settings that we have available on these LG TVs are probably the best. Okay, so I would definitely be interested in LG, developing QD OLEDs or whatever it's next, because these settings, these options that we have here are fantastic. But you cannot just fix everything with settings, okay? It's just not gonna get brighter full screen. It's not gonna get more colorful. It doesn't matter. Some people think, oh, I just need to increase the color saturation, and then they ask me, hey, is it okay if I increase this color saturation to 65 or 70 even? You are not getting a more colorful picture. You are just pushing the colors outwards. So what that means is that you're going to get a more colorful, or even the most colorful color, even when the content is not trying to output that. So it might give you the impression that, oh, it is now more colorful, but the most colorful color is not getting more colorful, if that makes sense. So basically, what I'm saying right now is that, yes, experiment with the settings. Yes, try to find the best settings, and definitely the settings that you like, but you cannot change. You cannot overcome the limitations of this technology. So my recommendation is just get something brighter, and if you cannot control the lighting on your room for some reason, you cannot get the best picture quality, and that's how it is. So if you cannot get the best picture quality, you don't need to have the best TVs, okay? Just get an LCD, okay? Get a TV that can give you like 1,000 nits full screen, or a monitor. There are some monitors that can give you that, and there are some LCD TVs that can do that, like 700 nits. So just get that instead. These OLEDs are not bright enough. Even the QD OLEDs are like 200 nits, 250 nits. There's like some monitors coming out now. They are measuring over 250 nits. I've seen, but that's still not very bright. Okay, it is good, but that's not. I mean, you go outside with your cell phone. These cell phones can be like 1,000 nits full screen, and the cell phone screen looks dim. Okay, and it's maxed out. Okay, so yeah, you cannot be in a bright room. That's the thing. If you care about picture quality, you have to turn off the lights completely. Okay, no lights at all. But still, under a completely dark room, it's still not bright enough. It's still, you're trying to push brightness and the colors, they get washed out. So that's just how it is. Now, I understand those limitations, and I'm still very happy with this because I see the good parts. But I was frustrated with this thing coming from a plasma TV because of some of those reasons. And yes, learning about the settings and all of that, I am a lot happier now. Okay, but still, in some ways, it kind of sucks. It's not a great. It's not something that it's gonna just blow you away with brightness and colors. That's just not it. But I'm very happy with it because I understand what this TV can do very well. So my recommendation would be to just check out some of the videos on the channel, so you can see all the stuff that I've done to this TV as being like insane. I've changed everything, and the motivation has been trying to search that picture quality, trying to search that brightness, trying to overcome the limitations, and it's just not possible. Okay, but you still try to find it, and I would definitely encourage you to do that, but don't get frustrated. It's just not bright enough, it's not colorful enough, and if you don't turn off the lights, you're not gonna be happy with it. You're not gonna be able to see anything. Okay, really. So yeah, I don't have the secret answer. Okay, and I have some of you that constantly ask me. I try to give you the best advice, the best I know, okay, to get more brightness, which is mainly just turn off the dimming. Okay, a lot of people don't know that you have logo dimming and you have TPC dimming, static. When you have a static picture, but this dimming mechanisms, they do not work exactly the way they are intended to work. Like for example, sometimes you have a very low light scene, and the TV thinks that's just a static scene, and then it's gonna dim the picture for no reason. If you don't have like big enough changes on the average brightness, you get the dimming. So the first thing I recommend, like everyone complaining about brightness, is just turn off the dimming. Okay, you can go to the service menu on these LG OLEDs and turn off TPC and GSR at your own risk. I couldn't care less. With that on, I just cannot use the TV. It's just very, very bad. So I highly recommend you to do that if you are unhappy with the brightness. But aside from that, you just try to punch in some settings that make you happy, and do not just go crazy with the colors, because you cannot get better color saturation by increasing this color depth. You cannot. And the reason why I have this so low is because I'm using this FPS, and this FPS is pushing the colors. That's why I have to lower that. It's not that I recommend you to do that, but you cannot increase that color depth to 70 and then it's now more colorful. It's not. It's the same colors. Okay, you're just making things that are not supposed to be that colorful. You're making them colorful. So that's what it is. So the purpose of this video is to have it, so when I get someone frustrated like that, I can just link this video just to tell you that I do not have a magic answer. We cannot overcome the limitations. We have to understand it. Okay, this is what it is, and if you're not happy with it, you get an LCD. Get an LCD 700, 1000 nits full screen. Make sure you can get that brightness, especially if you're in a bright room. And that's gonna be a better option because on a bright room you cannot see perfect blacks anyway. So just get that brightness so you can at least see the screen. But yeah, of course, OLED has a lot more benefits like, better responsiveness. The input lag for gaming is fantastic. So yeah, you don't get the blooming, but the majority of the benefits you get it on a completely dark room. So that's what you need. You need a completely dark room, and yeah, maybe get a QD OLED. QD OLED, if you're really looking for those colors. Completely dark room if you're gonna get a QD OLED, because QD OLEDs, at least the ones that we have now, they do not look like OLEDs under any lighting conditions. Okay, the screen lights up and you lose the perfect blacks. Okay, it just does not look like an OLED, which defeats the purpose. And even on a dark room, I've heard opinions that agree with me. Even on a completely dark room, it does not have the same micro contrast that they talk about with OLEDs, because still the brightness of the screen itself is lighting up some pixels that are supposed to be black. So, but yeah, they do have a much better color saturation. So if that's what you're looking for, go for it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you have any questions, I'll try my best, but just understand that darkroom is a must. And if the TV is 150 nits full screen, there's nothing you can do to overcome that. And if you try to push the brightness, you're washing out the colors. If you try to push the colors, you're just clipping colors and losing details, and it's not making it more colorful. So just try to learn how to get a picture you're happy with, or just get something different. Just get an LCD and you might be happy with that. Okay, brightness and size might be keen. Okay, and LCDs are cheaper, you can get a bigger size, but of course for gaming it's not gonna be the best input lag or contrast or none of that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you're still struggling to punch in your perfect settings for gaming, I can give you maybe a recommendation. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions.